welcome everyone to this month's New Kids on the Flock. What you working from home with? I am your host, Morgan, and this is my first time hosting without our fairy flock mother. So sad, but I know she's giving us support with spreading our wings to fly out of the nest, essentially. So I like to start every webinar just with a little bit of background on like what New Kids is. It was essentially started so that new kids in the channel would have a place to come, a place to be a part of, to have a voice, to learn from others, because we're all learning together. So that's what we're here for. So if there's any questions, drop them in the chat. Please feel free to join our LinkedIn or Facebook communities. Those are also just for funsies. And without a further ado, I guess we can jump into intros, and I'll go last if we want to start with Chandler. Have you gone first before?
I don't think so. I think this might be my first time.
There you go.
My name is Chandler. I am a partner growth manager here at Mail Protector. For those of you who don't know what we do, we are an email security solutions provider for MSPs, and I have been in the channel for 10 months.
Yippee!
Woohoo.
Kelsey, have you gone second before?
I may have. I don't know, but I will go second today, and I will keep this in my heart. My name is Kelsey. I am the community coordinator at QuickPass Cybersecurity. I've been with QuickPass since February, been in the channel about a year and a half now, probably more than that. I need to do some math. At QuickPass, we believe that MSPs should not have to compromise their productivity in order to be more cyber secure, and we offer products that streamline the privilege access management and help desk suite automation.
Awesome. And I hear we have an integration coming soon.
We do. That's very exciting.
That's very exciting. And last but not least, Taylor.
Woohoo! I feel like I just had a work from home moment, like the dog scratching the door. He's like barking. I'm like, oh no, take the camera off, get out of here. My name's Sarah Thorson. I am the channel manager here at Connect Booster. I actually just had my 2 years in July, so I'm like, holy crap, that seems like a long time. But basically what we do is we automate the AR part of your business, so the billing process, to get people paid faster, cheaper, and kind of more reliably in a big roundabout way.
Nice. And I feel like our companies always get confused because we talk about billing and they're like, you are the exact same thing. And we're like, no,
very different.
Very different. And so that leaves me. My name is Morgan. I am a channel engagement champion at Gradient MSP. Gradient has a billing module for MSPs to basically make sure that they're billing their clients correctly and make sure that they're paying their vendors correctly and their vendors aren't overcharging them. So we have a platform that gives a side-by-side comparison of what you're charging and what you're being charged. It connects to your PSA. We've got a few vendor integrations with people even in this room that allows you to just quickly get an overview of what you're billing that connects to your PSA. I think I might have said that, and just save you time and put money back into your pockets so that you're billing everything correctly. Yay.
Woo.
Awesome. I have a hard time sharing my screen because I have no idea where things are. Perfect. Okay, well, without further ado, I think we are jumping right into our topic, and we're going to start with office tours. Which this is just us being, I love transparency, and I think everyone else loves to be transparent as well. So we're just going to show, one, our work from home outfits today, and two, what our offices actually look like, because I feel like we all got questions about what our desks or our chairs or our dogs that we have in our pictures. That Bernedoodle is like a fantastic little party.
The worst part though, it's like not my dog, it's like my roommate's dog, but I have my own, so I'm like, I gotta get my actual dog in here. I know he's upstairs. He's not coming back.
Oh no, I thought about bringing my dog that I'm watching my parents' dog. I thought about bringing him in here, but he's just so nuts. Like he'll rip this plant down, he'll like bark outside. I'm like, we're not entertaining.
Don't take the chance. Don't take the chance.
Okay, well, do you guys want me to start with the home office tours? Who do we want to see the most?
I'm
The
excited to see yours.
Yeah, the host.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do it, Morgan.
Okay, well, let me make sure. I did clean up before this, but I also have snacks on the tables. So give me just a second. Okay, so we're just gonna take the mic down, but here is the tour. It's just gonna be really fun. So back here, I've got my little shelf. Like this is one of my prize areas. Just a lot of knickknacks and plants, obviously, that I love. Over here's my next favorite little area. I created this like little kind of tables of old suitcases that I found when I was thrifting. And so that I don't really know the purpose of it. I just love them.
I like it.
And am I taking it all the way around? Like, do you guys want to see the desk and everything too?
Yeah,
We're in it.
absolutely.
Okay, so here's my desk right now. It's actually kind of messy. I've got a dog treat here. I've got my snack because snacking is essential throughout the day. Over here, I've got this mantelpiece that my neighbor gave to me, and I just think it really, I don't know, it just makes my room more fun for me.
Then you've got your avocado.
And that avocado that Kelsey got me. And then if we go all the way around, in case you ever see me looking up, I'm probably looking at this door because somebody's standing in it. What else do we have? That is pretty much it. And then my prized possession is this chair. Let me see if I can showcase it very well.
I feel like I tell everyone about this chair.
Someone asked me about it recently. I think it was on LinkedIn. I was like, I do not gatekeep. It is probably the best thing I own. So it swivels around, and I feel like you can't see it, but it's got this little footrest. How's that?
Where was this
I'm
purchased at?
struggling. What was it?
Amazon. I've got the link. I just think about it every day.
But
Drop
it's so
it.
nice because you can sit, and this is my outfit, but it's so nice because you can sit like this, like with your knees up, and I sit crisscross in it, and I sit like one leg up, one leg down.
Nice.
I love it.
Oh my
It
God,
is
that's
essential.
amazing.
It is honestly essential for work from home. Like I have to, I need to be
gotta
making
drop the
commission on
link.
this. I know, I just saw Bella's message. I should be making commission on this. I hope Amazon will.
Amazon storefront.
We'll call Elon.
Yeah, let me get my storefront.
Wait, is it Jeff Bezos? I don't even know which one it is. It's Jeff Bezos.
I think it's Bezos. Elon.
Whatever. Well, Elon's my guy. He'll connect me with Jeff. So love the mug.
Thank you. Okay,
I'm
that is my
good
office
to go
tour.
next. I love it. I'll go next just to keep things moving. I guess I should unblur my background so we can actually see things. Okay, mine is far less aesthetic. I have learned that my aesthetic is kind of just chaos. But my favorite part is absolutely my bulletin board up here. I've got pictures from events. I don't know if it's easy to see. Basically all of my name badges, a friendship bracelet that Morgan made for me. Yeah, I've got a paper calendar here. Oh, I love it. Paper calendar here. I'm a big paper calendar gal. I've also got one on my desk. It's a whole thing. And then similar to the suitcase situation, I've got a table over here that like, this is kind of I'm in a funk and I need like some creative juices. I've got like word puzzles, notebooks. I have an explaining creativity textbook from one of my classes in college, and I honestly really like reading it. So it's kind of just like close stuff, or like I just need to get my mind off of work things and do something else. I've got a whole little stack right here. So yeah, I don't have a fancy chair. It's a blue chair, and I've always got a blanket handy because I randomly get freezing cold and way too hot constantly. So yeah. Oh, actually, I have fun little things on the wall here too. I have a letter board that says "New job, who dis?" But I'm not new at my job anymore. don't have anything else creative to put up there. Yeah,
I
that's
love
mine.
it.
Thanks.
That is like, that I have the same thing. Like I almost always have a sweatshirt on this chair behind me because I get like hot and cold throughout the day. And so I just need to like have that right by. But I also have a closet right here that has literally all of my gradient like shirts
Hoodies.
and my tracksuits. It's like my dedicated gradient closet.
I love that. I also forgot I'm wearing Christmas pajamas. So this is a quick pass shirt. I typically go vendor shirt, comfy pants. That's my like work from home vibe. But this actually is one of our shirts, which Jimmy laughed at me when we had a meeting this morning. He was like, "Oh, the tuxedo shirt."
I love it. I love y'all shirts. They're very creative.
We do have fun with our shirts.
All right, who's next? You can rock, paper, scissors over it if you.
Chandler, you go because mine will be short and simple.
All right, cool. I actually have to get rid of my background.
I know, I had to also.
All right, I just moved too, so don't judge. I think this is going to be the guest bed, but it's not set up yet. So but in the back, you can see, I've got my fishing rods, things like that. This whole room's kind of my office. It's the guest, it doubles as a guest bedroom, like I said, but it's also my home office / I know it's kind of cringe to say, but it's also like my man cave. So got, TV, fishing rods, things like that. And then turn around over here. I'm just going to back up. Oh yeah. I also have the same setup as you, Kelsey. I rock the vendor shirt and then some sort of, comfy pants, stuff like that.
We love it.
This is, I guess, my desk. If you can see it, it also doubles. I'm a pretty big nerd. I know Morgan knows that, but I don't know if Taylor or Kelsey know that about me. Gamer and stuff like that. So my work desk is very minimal. And that's probably because of, I don't like to have a lot of clutter on it and things like that, but it also doubles as my gaming setup. And then I've kind of got like this stuff over here. This is like a wall of, personal interests and stuff like that, like books, comic books, things like that. That's a Pubs of Clemson thing, which is, a hand-drawn, I guess, painting of all the bars and pubs in Clemson, which is where I graduated from. And then over here is just kind of like all of my consoles and video games that I've collected over the year, all my badges from my shows.
Love it.
Yeah, definitely. I saw the CompTIA one on yours too, Kelsey. I kind of know the red band. But yeah, pretty simple. And fun fact, I was telling Morgan this in the I guess the lobby of the show today that I actually use my monitor for work. I've gotten very accustomed to just rocking the one screen on my laptop, and I actually kind of like it. I like just having it all in one place. So yeah, my monitor is I just use that to play video games on. I don't even use it for work. So
I actually was going to mention that later on as well. Like I'm so used to just having this that I don't really touch my monitor.
Yeah, I some people, like I've heard, I remember Joe, who me and Morgan used to work with, he had, he didn't use monitors either. So some people just like it.
Once you get used to a monitor, you can't
go back.
Yeah, it's horrible. Like I love my monitors when I'm at home, but when I'm on the road, I'm like, I freaking hate this little bitty screen all in one spot. I can't do it. I need everything expanded for me. So stay that way because it's much better.
Taylor.
All right. I'm just going to preface everyone that I'm in the middle of moving. So I'm currently like in between. This is not, and I typically work out of the office in Fargo, North Dakota. So work from home has been just a new of last week. And it's just a temporary thing. So anyways, I'm just going to take this around. So I do have a lot of monitors, but I only use this one and this one. So I have this one just as like a nice little extra. I just realized it's really dark, so I apologize. Obviously multiple water bottles, coffee. I drink like 8, like I just keep them here, reminds me. And I don't know about you girls, sorry, Chandler, but I always have multiple pairs of glasses because if you don't get ready for the day, they're a great way to hide that you don't look great.
Oh yeah.
Or they like hold your hair really well. So fun fact on that. And then, yeah, I just have a little plant that kind of died within the move. So we're trying to get her back to life because she got a little sunburnt in the car. And yeah, then just like I usually have pictures of like some friends and family, but clearly I'm in the middle of moving. So I'm living in my parents' basement for the next 3 weeks.
That's okay. It's
Before
You're
the
making
move-
the best of what you got, and I love it.
it's
before
work
the-
from home or work from wherever you can.
Well, and I hate to say this, but this table, we like my parents have a lake cabin, and so we bring it up to the lake to play beer pong on. So now it's my desk. So
Your desk. Yeah,
Just-
that's perfect.
and then I always just wear a Connect Booster sweatshirt, and I always wear leggings.
Yeah,
So I don't really have any pajama pants, but
that's okay.
Do you remember how like controversial it used to be to wear leggings as pants? Like, what was that?
Now it's just the norm, I feel like.
Yeah.
Totally.
Athleisure. Yeah.
That's
Chandler.
such a good point.
Awesome. Okay. What do you guys typically wear on your work from home then? Like I don't always wear my pajamas, but I do make a point to like get dressed, but it's casual.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Like I said, vendor shirt, comfy pants. Like
that's what I rock.
I'm too nervous to ever go without pants. So like I do make myself wear pants. Like even some shorts, I'm like, well, I wouldn't actually wear these around people. So what if I have to stand up? So I just try to always go with pants.
I was doing a webinar last week and I had to get up to fix this, and I was like, oh my God, I have my pajama pants on. And I had to like sneak out of the picture. I was like, I'm so sorry. Like I was
You're
really
like-
good from here up, but like
You like slink away.
so
Oh
lesson
my
learned, if you're
gosh.
gonna be on camera, get ready for the day.
Well, there are people that I know that like actually get dressed. And like I was reading through like work from home tips just to prep for this because I was like, am I doing everything right or am I doing everything wrong? And a lot of the articles were like, get dressed for the job as if you're actually going to be there. And I was like, no way. No way am I doing that.
No.
So I'd like to hear from everyone that is here. Do you actually, if you're remote, do you dress for the job or do you dress like comfy casual or is it a half and halfer? 6296665. Okay. Is
Is that a cat
code?
walking across the keyboard?
Casual. Love it.
Casual.
Nice.
Oh, did you just spell out cat? No, you didn't. I don't. Never mind.
T9.
T9.
We would know that. That's good.
I dress for my morning dog walking outfits at 6 for work the whole day. Are they casual or are they like cutesy funsies you would go to dinner in them? That's the real question, Bella.
Athleisure. Yeah. I
I
would say
think that's the way.
my
sorry.
last job like was also in DFW, and on the days I'd go into the office I would dress really cute as kind of a like, yeah, this is a change of pace, but definitely not for at home.
Simon said he wears jeans and a
Jeans.
t-shirt. I never wear jeans at home.
I
Do
don't.
I just got a really comfy pair of jeans that I might wear at home. Oh, it's cold.
It's
Ooh, where are you at, Simon? This is
Yeah.
oh,
It's
okay,
definitely
that's fair.
colder there.
I will
It
sometimes
might be cold.
for if I'm gonna be doing something like that night, I'll just be like, okay, like I might as well just get dressed now so I don't have to change later. And that's what I'll wear for work for the day. Like if I'm going out to dinner or like sometimes I'll have I have a soccer game tonight actually, which I know I'm not wearing my soccer outfit right now, but sometimes if I'll just put on like my soccer clothes like for the day and like that's what
Yeah.
I'll wear to work. But for the most part, it's the vendor t-shirt and the sweatpants.
Nice.
Well, and if you think about it, like when we're working like events, at least we're wearing vendor shirts and jeans, sure, except for
Yeah.
Morgan. It's like it's not too drastic of a difference.
No, not really.
No. And it looks like that the vote is almost unanimous. Crystal's also a vendor shirt and PJ bottoms. Thank you. Thank you. my
There's a
lady.
reason we collect these shirts.
It's so true. All right. Do we want to run into the next little topic, the do's and don'ts of working remote?
Let's
Mhm.
do it.
Do it. I know that we all kind of like contributed to this. So if you have a specific like want to talk about it, please expand. I might just call you in, but I think one of the big things that we kind of agreed upon is investing in a good workspace, like
Mhm.
overall. Like, yes, Taylor, you're still moving, but that's your workspace.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
for me, this, like I was able to get like an office, which I'm very thankful for. And Chandler's like man cave and slash office slash guest room, like that's your dedicated space. And I think we talked a little bit about like separating your workspace and your home space. So how do you guys like do that? Like, do you, like, I know we all kind of have our own areas, but like if anyone want to expand on it?
Yeah, I can go first. I actually moved into this apartment before I ever had a remote job, so I kind of had to make do with the space that I was given. So this is actually my dining room of my apartment, because I just have bedroom, living room, dining room, like that's my kitchen. So when I got my first remote job, I don't have a dining room table anymore. I swapped out the dining room table for a desk, and I live alone, so like I just have TV trays, it's fine. But I do find it harder, like this is always like an easier space to sit at to like eat or like do whatever, but I do try on the weekends not to sit here because this is my work, like I don't sit here all week to then sit here on the weekends, like I try like force myself kind of not to deal with this area when it's not work time. I'm going to prioritize having a separate space the next time I move, but that's going to be a while from now. I don't want to move again.
Get it.
My
Get it.
Yeah, my last apartment had like the flow was basically living room, kitchen, and bedroom. And I refused to work in my bedroom because I did that when I was living with my parents
Yeah.
in 2020, which I think like a majority of people ended up doing.
Yeah.
And that was so hard for me because I couldn't separate the two areas. So this is honestly the most ideal. And I feel like I'm the most productive in this like workspace because I can separate everything. Like I close that door when I'm done with my day and I just don't come in here until the next morning.
Yeah.
Totally.
I could say because I also recently moved. I feel like a lot of us just recently went through moves. But anyway, my last place, I had a very small room. I was still in my college town, so my desk was like basically just in the middle of my bedroom, and I was around it all day. Like I was like a couple feet from my bed, and it just wasn't really a good space. But now I've got like this dedicated room where, I probably should be better about not spending as much time in here. I'm not working.
Yeah, you said you game in there.
This is like, because I can't have a separate room for work and a separate room for like gaming and things like that. So but that's probably the only other time I'm here is when I'm, playing video games and things like that. I can't say honestly, I've never played video games during work. I've got personal integrity. I would never do that. But yeah, I'm pretty good about separating the two. The only time I've been spending a lot of time in here recently just because been having to hang up all the stuff, doing all the wall decor and things like that. But now that things have kind of settled down, I mostly spend time out in the living room, especially with our new kitty. So
I feel like I've read that people change the lighting in rooms. Like if you're working, then you've got like the natural light. And then when you go to game, you turn on like LEDs or like.
I do have that. Yeah.
Like, I think that is like a mind shift too. And it's really smart. Like, I think that's like an easy way to like make it a different space just by.
Yeah, it's night and day because I close these blinds, which are like now that I see are absolutely blinding. But I close those at night and then I like turn on like some LEDs and it kind of transforms it into a little bit more of a casual setup, casual experience. So
yeah.
And Taylor, I know that you're in your parents' basement right now, and you can also talk about what you're planning. Like, is your new space going to have an office or how are you?
Yeah, no. My new apartment, I'm just still getting used to this like work from home thing because I've literally spent the last 2.5 years going into the office. So like that was just a big change when you have, like get to the office by 8, stay till 5. But I think my new apartment, my desk will just be in my living room. Sadly, it's a pretty small place, but it is what it is.
You just change the mood with the lights.
Yeah, I mean, you just like log off.
One big thing when I had my desk in my living room was I would like close it and put it away. So I wasn't looking at it. And
I need to do that.
It's just like a mental thing, I think so.
Like put it kind of off to the side. We'll see. I don't quite have an apartment even locked in yet. So we're still working on that.
That's
We're
okay.
just, we're just all over the place.
I've also seen people do, like, if it is in their living room, they'll do it like behind their sofa and have it flow. So there's like an actual like barrier to your desk where you can't like, you know. Does that
Mhm.
I
make
like
sense?
that. Yeah, it's a great idea.
Pretty cool.
I'll send you updates.
Please do.
Please help.
We'll talk again in a month.
Yeah, we'll see your new space in a month.
Yeah, sure.
All right. And I know, so we did schedule this webinar for only 30 minutes. So if you have to jump off, please feel free. I can send everyone a link for the next one. I'm like, what month is it? The September webinar. If you need a link, I can drop that to you guys in email, or if you reach out to me on LinkedIn, I can also, or any of us can do it. But moving along, okay, Kelsey, you brought up keeping a planner and starting your day with a to-do list. So I don't
Yes.
do this. So tell me
Okay.
how.
Yeah. So, okay. When I was first looking for a job, like still in college, whatever, I was reading every blog and article I could. And one thing that really stuck with me was it said basically every single day, start with the date and like what you're doing for the day. If somebody asks you to do something, write that down and cross it off as you go so you can keep track. If somebody 2 weeks from now is like, oh, I asked you for that and you never gave it to me. Like you can kind of go back and be like, actually, I did it on this day, like, which I used to be in an office that was a little less organized, and I was like neurotic about keeping who told me to do what and when I submit it. And I mean, it was good to get things done. I'm definitely a little more casual with it now, but I do a daily, this is actually just our agenda for right now. But I love writing things down. I also have a planner, which you can't see, but I'm a big proponent of writing things down, crossing them off, and then I'll even go back a couple pages just to be like, okay, wait, I didn't finish that. It's really good in my one-to-ones with my manager because he can be like, what have you got going on? And I can be like, oh, you asked about this last week. I did that. That's done, out of the way. So it just kind of helps me stay on top of what I'm accomplishing, what I need to get done, what my workload kind of looks like for the next day or so. Like I don't go too far out. But yeah, I'm and I've got a big paper calendar on my desk. I've got paper calendar on the wall, and then obviously like my Outlook calendar. I don't like to lose things.
I love it. It's super organized.
Thanks.
I was just talking, Crystal said that there are super helpful lists. Now she's a notebook as well. And I feel like I need to go get a notebook today.
Okay, I'm going to send you the link. I'm going to add it to the chat where I get my notebooks and journals and everything. I like these a lot.
Awesome. All right. Chandler brought up a good point as well. Wake up at the same time you normally would if you were going to the office.
Mm-hmm.
Can you expand on that?
For sure. Yeah, I definitely think it can, you can get stuck in this mindset of, and complacency might be a harsh word, but more realistic, of just like it not, needing, basically you're not needing to wake up in time or not needing to get ready, prepare for your day the same way you would if you were going into the office. And I just feel like that's something that you should try to stay on top of, is even though you're working from home, you're being trusted by your company, and let's be transparent. At the end of the day, you're being paid to do a job. Let's be honest. You're being paid to do a job by a company. And they're trusting you to do your job from home. So the most you can do is prepare for your workday every day. Get up at the same time you normally would. Don't sleep. Don't sleep until 5 minutes before your workday is supposed to start. And I know we're talking about wearing sweatpants and a vendor shirt and things like that, but at least, getting ready, not showing up to, your work meetings with disheveled hair and things like that. Just basically preparing for your day, making yourself look presentable, getting up with enough time to where you're not, half asleep in your morning meetings and things like that. Just basically being prepared for your day.
Nice. I mean, I think you covered like 4 of my points in there, but like
Sorry.
for me, no, you're fine. I mean, for me, like I was about, like, I'll be honest, I was super bad about like getting up like 15 minutes before when we used to have like 9 a.m. meetings. I would be like, I'm just rolling out of bed. But now I like actually like I go for a walk in the morning, usually before my day starts. And it kind of just like sets the tone for my day. Like I read something that was like, you're like, I think it was like stop like endorphins or dopamine by like the first thing you do. And if you're just like sitting down, like as your first thing, it's kind of just like gets in your head or something. I don't know what the quote was.
Yeah, well, like, and if you like, you get up, you come and like you sit down, you're kind of immediately in this like headspace, like, oh, what do I have to get done today? Like, I just kind of really sets the tone. I mean, I'm guilty of sleeping as late as I can. I'm only human, but man, on the days that I do get up and like get around, every single time I'm just like, oh, every article I've ever read is so right. Like, you've got to get up and do something else before you work.
Absolutely. Taylor, are you a sleep inner? Are you a
No, I'm not gonna lie, like I'm a morning person to a T, but I like crash and burn by like 1 p.m. Like that's my problem. Like I will be so effective up until 1 and then I'm like,
I need a nap.
Like I would almost be better just like waking up. Like I wake up and work out in the morning too. Like I'd almost be better just sit down by 7 a.m. and like knock stuff out. So 1 to 2 gets a little rough for me.
Yeah, I've run into with everyone being in different time zones, like it almost is easier some days just to get up earlier and get things done.
Totally.
Half of my team is East Coast, half is West Coast. I'm Central, so it's like there's always people around. I don't know. I kind of like operating on East Coast time. Get things done a little earlier in the day for me.
And honestly, just one of the benefits of working from home is like if you need that afternoon pick me up, like I'll just go for a quick 20-minute walk. Like put my headphones in, especially if I'm just on meetings I'm listening to, and it's like that kind of can like kick you back into the groove. Like I used to walk at the office over lunch, but that's not the same. It's not the same.
And that was one of Kelsey's points as well, is get up and walk at least once a day because it does wonders for your mental health. Like I know when I get stressed, I'm like, I haven't moved in 5 hours, like from this spot, I'm gonna get up and like just go somewhere that's not here. I think it's super important.
Do you ever get like so stressed and you need to get stuff done, but you're like so stressed that you're like froze? And then it feels like 4 hours later, you're like, I have not even like got anything done because I'm like, where do I even start?
Right. And I think like when I get to that point, I do just go on a walk because I'm like, I'm not doing anything right now. Maybe I just need to decompress.
Shut the computer. I agree.
Awesome. All right. And I feel like we're running out of time. So let's just jump into the don'ts. I think Chandler covered this one, but don't show up disheveled to your meetings and actually get up and, pull yourself together. I think a big one that a lot of people forget about, especially when you first get started, is mute yourself when you're not actively talking in meetings.
Totally.
No one wants to hear like dogs barking in the back.
Yesterday, speaking of that, muting yourself, yesterday I was doing like a new partner onboarding and I could have sworn that I had myself muted. This perfectly applies to the situation. And I've been sneezing so much like the last couple of days, and I just had like a full on sneeze attack in the middle of this like new partner onboarding. I sneezed like 4 times in a row, and could have sworn I was like, oh, I'm muted and my camera's off. It doesn't matter. And Cody, who's one of our partner success managers, was like, bless you, Chandler. I was like, oh,
you're invisible sneezing too.
I was like, I'm so sorry. But yes, definitely make sure you're muted, because even when you think you are, you might not be.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I feel like I check it compulsively. I'm most of the time. I mean, it's like before I cough or anything. So
I like
scared.
I usually opt in to like audio off. That's like my go-to.
Yeah.
I actually had this girl one time at like a previous job. We were on a Zoom, like a team Zoom call, and she wasn't paying attention, 1 to the meeting or 2 to her mute, and she was like scrolling on Instagram, and it was playing like all this music that was not appropriate at all, and she's just sitting there and she's like, and we're all silent, like looking at her, waiting for her to realize she's not on mute, and she's like what?
We can hear you.
I was like, we could hear you. And she's like, I'm not doing anything. I'm like, girl, like, you cannot act like we didn't just hear that. Like it was so after that, I was like always checking, like making sure. All right, next one. I feel like this is like like a no-brainer, but I feel like it should also be brought up, is like, don't forget about your meetings. Like, for me, I've got Slack send me my entire day on,
Nice.
like, in the morning at 7 a.m. I get an update of like, here's all your meetings and when. So I look at that. And so if I need to like run to the grocery store for 20 minutes, I'm not going to do it like 30 minutes before a meeting. Like I
Right.
need to like plan my day, and I can't forget about that. Have you guys
Yeah.
forgotten meetings before?
I
Yes.
used to have that same Slack setting and I loved it. It would tell me like 2 minutes before also. I'd be like, great, I can go to the bathroom, refill my water, and then the meeting's ready. And I don't have that now. And my first week, I was like messaging everyone that I could. I'd be like, can we please get this added to Slack? I'm like literally one of our workspace admins now, and I still can't get it added. So I've learned to live without that. I've missed one meeting since then, and it was one that wasn't super important for me to be on, thankfully. But I definitely utilize the Outlook reminder now. Like I get a 15-minute and then a 5-minute, and it's like, okay, like I use it more now, but
I remember now.
yeah, so frustrating. It's like it's the object permanence. It's not right in front of me, so it doesn't exist.
Absolutely. For sure. What about you guys, Chandler and Taylor? Taylor, you've been in the office, so I feel like it's a little, if you forgot a meeting, then that's kind of like, that's in your face.
Yeah, especially like if we're in person, which most of our office is in person. So, yeah, like it's pretty hard to miss meetings when it's like you have to be in a certain room at a certain time. But like Microsoft Teams or Outlook has 15-minute reminders too. So I would say like I don't think I've missed a meeting. Maybe like not by accident, and I haven't shown up to stuff if I'm like, oh, I don't have to go. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like there's always
Right.
that like this doesn't pertain to me, so it is, or if something goes wrong, there's always instances.
Yeah. I've definitely had a couple close calls. I don't think I've ever like blatantly not shown up for a meeting. I've definitely had some where I had one meeting run over and I had been planning on doing something in between meetings, like going to the grocery store and getting something, or going to get lunch, or doing something, taking my car to get my oil changed or whatever, and been maybe a couple minutes late to the next meeting. But I've got the same thing. I've got my Slack notifications that send me, hey, this meeting is starting now. And I've also got Outlook that reminds me, I think 30 minutes before and 15 minutes before. So.
You know what it doesn't catch is when someone moves a meeting and
Yeah.
you don't get the update. So now I've got Outlook on my phone, but before I was like anti-phone. So all I had was Slack, and someone had moved a meeting up and I was like out and about. I think I was doing like an errand that I just needed to like, was going to take 30 minutes. And they were like, are you joining our one-on-one? And it wasn't like I could just like miss it. Like I wouldn't be sitting like in the background. It was like a one-on-one meeting. And I was like, oh man, but that was without notice. So I will cut myself some slack there.
I have,
go ahead.
sorry. I was gonna say I've done meetings in the car because like they've sneaked up on me and I had like no idea. And then I'm like, camera off, like, hey guys, sorry, my camera's not working. As I'm like, that's happened a few times.
Because you don't want to be like,
I've like cut my morning coffee run too close to a meeting. So then I just take it in the parking lot at Dunkin'.
Yeah.
And people will be like, oh, you're in your car right now. I'm just like, yeah, I am, but I'm here.
Yeah.
well, getting it done.
I've actually found to be quite useful is obviously this is only for Mac users, but the calendar app on the Mac, you can sync it with Outlook, and that actually does show time changes. When someone does change a meeting, it automatically updates in it updates in Outlook too, but it doesn't notify you. It notifies you in the Apple calendar. And I use both. I use my Outlook calendar. I mean, it's the same, it's based obviously off the same email, but I do like the Apple calendar. I feel like it's pretty easy to read, and I don't know. I use both.
Too. I love the look of it, but I don't have a Mac now. So.
I don't have a Mac anymore either. So
rip. All right, last thing of don't. And we kind of touched on this as well with our spaces, but don't let your work take over your whole space. Keep your work area to its own area. And I think we already kind of like talked about this a little bit on like how we keep them separated, but for everyone in the chat as well. And we are 15 minutes over. So does anyone have any like closing thoughts, questions? Do you need more links to chairs or desks or anything like that? I forgot to mention I have a stand desk, so I can like
Oh,
I can like full on stand up, do jumping jacks if I wanted.
fancy.
don't-
Can we like start our own work from home wish list? Because I want a standing desk with your fancy chair, but I also want the under the desk treadmill. Like,
I
I
do
do
too.
too.
oh my gosh.
do
Like
too.
that seems ideal. I see so many TikToks of people using those. I'm just like, man,
I
I
would
think I'd
love
like that a lot.
Have you not seen it before?
I have. I was saying walk all day long if I had like
Oh
the
my gosh.
treadmill.
I would
Let's
too.
start a new kids treadmill.
A GoFundMe
fund.
Mess.
just to make sure everyone gets one.
I'm not gonna lie, I have a Nordic track, like the spin
Oh,
bike.
nice, yeah.
And I have like a built-in desk thing that goes on it, so I can like sit and type on like on the.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
it's pretty nice.
That's my problem is that I don't like, I'm at my desk all day and then I'll go and take a small walk, but I can't walk like 14 miles, but
Right.
I totally would if I had it underneath my desk. And I could just get a power walk in.
That'd be sweet.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining. Trying to share my screen, but I'm always scared to do it. There we go.
Woohoo.
Thank you guys so much for joining. Appreciate everyone in the chat and, and the hosts as well, sharing your space. It's so vulnerable. So thank you guys. Our next webinar is going to be Tuesday, September 27th at 1 p.m. And it is how to start a successful career in the channel. And we've got two special guests, Desiree Thomas and Robin Miller will be, I know, well, they'll be coming in and we'll do kind of similar to our AMA style where we'll just kind of like ask the two of them, questions about getting started, how to, have a career in the channel, and everything like that. So come with your questions, and learn from them as well. They're pretty seasoned, channel leaders, but if anyone wants a link to that instead of the QR, just let me know. But beyond that is pretty much it for us new kids.
Yay.
Woohoo.
And we did it. Unfortunately, I'm not happy about this, but we did it without Mary, which I'm pretty proud, but also sad. Awesome. Well, you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you guys again for
Thank you.
joining. And yeah, I'll see you next month.
Yay. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.